It's collapsing. The birth rates are astronomical, like 5 children. The left is bringing people here and then teaching them to hate the country in a political takeover. Don't they get that we're collapsing into Blade Runner meets Road Warrior? I mean, this is a really dangerous scenario right now. We're already teetering worldwide on top of debts that are unsustainable. You can see it building towards a crescendo.
Well, the people who are coming in don't understand that because they don't understand how we're in a precarious position, but they think anything in America is better, and it probably is better than what they have, even with all of our debt. But we know we're losing our strength, our prosperity, our freedom, all that sort of thing, and we have the best country in the world, and we shouldn't give it away. And if we let all these people in who don't believe in America, it's going to be a different world. And I think a lot of the Democrats are doing it because they want the votes. They think these people coming in don't know anything about limited government. They think the government should be their provider, and so they'll vote Democratic. And it's a tremendous change. You know, when Obama went into office, he said he wanted to fundamentally change America, and he's been doing it, and somehow the congressmen are letting him get by with it.
Phyllis Schlafly, EagleForum.org, is our guest. Final segment with her. I want to get into her investigative report, Hillary's plan to stuff the ballot box. I mean, what a nightmare. Hillary and Jeb. I mean, really? Is this a nightmare? I mean, can I wake up from this? Phyllis Schlafly is our guest, the founder of EagleForum.org, best-selling author, syndicated columnist. She was there at the beginning with Barry Goldwater of the folks that said the Republican Party are not a bunch of New World Order globalists that are going to join with the Democrats, turning our country into a socialist nightmare. And if it wasn't for her and others, we'd already be completely under the system. It's a big victory. The TPP got shot down last week. They're trying to ram it through again this week, but resistance is mounting. But the problem is the illegal waves are used to be the political voting bloc. And Phyllis has written a detailed article, Hillary's Plan to Stuff the Ballot Box, at WND.com. Phyllis, please spend some time breaking this down for folks.
Well, yes, of course. My book was called A Choice, Not an Echo, and that's kind of gone into the English language. When we pick our nominees for president, we want a choice. We don't want an echo of the bunch of losers that the kingmakers have been giving us lately. And I want to take a minute to talk about the left's manipulation of words. You know, I think the gays have gotten what they've gotten in our judiciary by the clever use of 2 words, inevitability and discrimination. And when they say their side is inevitable, and if you're against them, you're discriminated, that's really what has gave them the start. Now, you apply that to free trade. Now, the only thing that's free about free trade is what China can do for free. There isn't anything free about it for the United States. It's a big cheat.
It should be called one-sided screwjob trade.
Right. You're right. And we need to make sure we don't fall for these words that are trying to manipulate our thinking.
Well said. What about Hillary's brazen getting money from third world dictators at the State Department to her foundation to then sell them weapons, and they're just brushing it off, and now her plan that you break down to stop the ballot box?
Well, of course, she's all for bringing in more immigrants from other countries. And these immigrants who come in have no comprehension of limited government and of the way our Constitution sets up the freedom in our land. And so they're going to come in and expect the government to take care of them, and this government starts giving them welfare benefits of all kinds, so they'll vote Democratic. I think it's a matter of votes. I think a lot of the big business, the lobbyists, want the cheap, low-paid workers for their businesses, and Hillary and the Democrats want Democratic votes in the ballot box. That's what it's all about.
Well, sure, CNN calls it birth tourism and says Chinese mothers by the thousands a week come to the U.S. to have their babies for free. There's the headline, why Chinese moms want American babies. And they just say it like it's reasonable and cute when you can't go anywhere else in the world and get this. This is a joke. And now Chinese have surpassed Mexicans as the #1 group pouring in. There's 1,300,000,000 of them. This is suicide.
Yes, it is suicide. And we have an exceptional, wonderful country here, and it's up to us to do it. And I urge everybody to be involved in politics. You can't just pray and expect the Lord to do it. It's not his job. It's our job to make use of the political elements in our society to kick the bad guys out and get the good guys in.
Why are the bad guys so destructive? I mean, they're in control. What they're doing will destroy their power base and will end up destroying their own nest. Is it just an instinct to overrun everything, a criminal instinct? What is it?
Well, I think it's they think they're going to make money out of it, and but it's a short-term look at the raising of that money, because even though they may get some cheap labor for a while, they still are destroying our system, and it's our system that has enabled them to become rich and successful.
Yeah, it'd be like if I went home and killed my parents just so I could say I was dominant when they're the ones that had me, brought me up, took care of me. It just makes it's so self-destructive.
Yes, it is, and when Sessions said that these trade agreements that Obama signed on to, that they're putting all the pressure on to try to make Congress pass, that they simply are. Really, they're taking away our sovereignty. They're taking away our wealth. They're just changing our country. Well, as Obama said it best, he wanted to fundamentally transform it.
We're being conquered.
Right.
Phyllis Schlafly, your book is now back in print, updated, A Choice, Not an Echo.
It's really updated because the recent years are really very interesting, and nobody's told the story of how the kingmakers are still...
It's amazing. EagleForum.org. Thank you for the time. Have a great week. You're an icon. Thank you.
Bye.
An amazing lady. Most folks don't know how important she is or how great she is. If it wasn't for her and Barry Goldwater, we'd be done. Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Central, we're here live. We've now reached the point of no return, the midway point, halfway into this global, worldwide transmission. I'm your host, Alex Jones. Coming up at the start of the next hour, I'm going to tell a personal story about something I did at the advice of Dr. Group and others that is the single #1 most life-changing thing I've done in my health that had instant effects. Instant effects. And we're going to cover a bunch of health news and a bunch of geopolitical news during that, but that's coming up at the start of the next hour, so please stay with us for that. Separately, I've done an hour and a half and have not plugged anything in an hour and a half. Most talk show hosts plug every segment. Maybe I should, and my funding problems would be over. I'd have reporters right now to cover everything I want to cover. But we're getting pretty close to that, looking to hire a couple more reporters, camera people, more writers. And then I think InfoWars is done growing, at least for the next few years. I need to be able to have reporters in 2 different spots at one time and to be able to, again, expand our production ability. And it's through purchases of the products, of the water filters, the shortwave radios, the books, the videos, the Patriot apparel, the nutraceuticals, and other items at InfoWarsStore.com and places like HDFirearms.com with all their great accessories that we are able to fund this operation. So my pledge to you is to bring you the highest quality products at the lowest possible price. Tomorrow's the last day to get 20% off ProPure G2 filtration system. That is a huge discount we're running right now on their portable pitcher system at InfoWarsStore.com and InfoWarsLive.com. And I told you we were running out. We're trying to secure more of the Deep Earth crystal source of pure iodine that nobody else has and nobody else uses. It's mainly used in industrial medication development as a key precursor, highly controlled. We have run out, basically, of all of that. And we're trying to secure more of it, but we had a limited amount left that was manufactured. It came in last week. When that sells out, that'll be the end of it for a while. So if you want to get our emergency Survival Shield X2 Nation Iodine, it's available at InfoWarsLife.com today, right now. And the bad halogens, the bromide, the bromine, the fluoride, the hydrofluorosilicic acid, the chlorine, those are all the bad ones in the periodic table. And that's in the food, that's in the water. And then it fills up your glands like your thyroid and just does all sorts of havoc. The good one is iodine. And by the way, I've never really talked about this. We never get to this. If you go to InfoWarsStore.com and click on the Survival Shield X2 section, just click on the middle one right there, guys. Survival Shield X2 right there. If you click on that and you scroll down to the bottom, we use one of the biggest third-party review sites. Scroll to the bottom. One of the biggest third-party review sites. I don't know why we put it all the way at the bottom. We need to add a link. I've said this a few times, but we need to add a link up there saying, read the reviews. This is from Review Snapshot. It's embedded from a third-party site. No one on their own site has a 99% review rate. 99% review. No one else has it. 99%. InfoWarsLife.com. And so I'm going to start something today where I always read a review on air. So every day, we're going to print off some of the latest reviews, the good, the bad, and the ugly, and we're going to read them, the latest reviews. In fact, let's read the newest top one. I haven't even looked at it. I looked at it last night. Let's go ahead and blow it up. Once a day with water and feel the power. That's what Indie Atlantic has to say. Here's another one. I mean, just go read the reviews. 5-star, 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 5-star. We got contacted by this big third-party review site. They said, we've never seen anything like this. They even went and watched with their IP addresses and thought maybe we were just doing it or something. No, it's real people with these reviews. They've never seen anything like it. Thousands of reviews, hundreds per product, 99% review for InfoWarsLife.com products. That's because they're revolutionary. Now, I'm going to warn you. Consult your physician before you take Super Male Vitality, Super Female Vitality, or before you take Nation Iodine. Because the results with myself and everybody else I've talked to are dramatic. And sometimes they're serious. I mean, you don't have any iodine in you, and you get the real source, it's going to push out of your thyroid all that crap. And you're going to feel like you got run over by an 18-wheeler. Most people do in about 2-3 weeks. And then after that, I liken it when my kids were little, up, a hill, a mountain, 300, 400 yards up steps like Mount Benel. My daughter on my shoulders, or my son when he was smaller. And when you take them off your shoulders, you feel like you're flying. After about a month on X2, that's what it was like. And I've been more crazed, more energy. I've been on it 2 years. InfoWarsLife.com. All right, I'm done ranting. Please support our local AM and FM affiliates as well. Please support their local sponsors or become a sponsor. That is key and integral as well. And realize the system's doing everything it can right now to censor, to demonize, to assassinate my character, to demonize us, to shut us down. I don't give the enemy any attention, but believe me, they're very active. I take that as a sign as I'm over the enemy. We're having an effect. We're drawing their fire. So when you support us, it's a win-win. You're funding the vicious tip of the spear. We are vicious. The globalists are scared of us because they're a bunch of criminal cowards running a con game that they're invincible. They know they're not invincible. Evil's failed every time in history. They think a bunch of high-tech stuff's going to help them win. We've already identified them because of Barry Goldwater and Phyllis Schlafly and Red Beckman and all those folks 30, 40, 50 years ago, 60 years ago. And now everything they warned of is coming true. We held it back. We held it back. We held a lot of it back. Now but we're sliding backwards. We just slowed it down. Now we've gone over the cliff. People are going, whoa, really, you were telling the truth about all this. At least we can pull the parachute now, collectively, if we realize what's happening and have a soft landing. So we salute all of you out there.